Harper Business and HarperAudio present The Phoenix Economy: Work, Life, and Money in the New Not Normal by Felix Salmon. This is the author. For Erica. Another plague year would reconcile all these differences. A close conversing with death, or with diseases that threaten death, would scum off the gall from our tempers, remove the animosities among us, and bring us to see with differing eyes than those which we looked on things with before. Daniel Defoe, A Journal of the Plague Year. Prologue. The Hohokam were one of 4 prehistoric cultures in the U.S. Southwest, alongside the Anasazi, the Mogollon, and the Patayan. Starting around the year 1 CE, they settled the valleys of the Gila River and its tributaries, the Santa Cruz River, San Pedro River, Verde River, and, most importantly, the Salt River. Into the harsh and arid Sonoran Desert, they brought agricultural technology imported from Mexico, growing maize, beans, squash, and even cotton. Life was not easy, with just about 8 inches of rain per year, and often none for months on end. Temperatures fell below freezing in winter. In summer, they would rise above 120 degrees Fahrenheit. But this was home, and around the year 50, the Hohokam started building their first small irrigation canals. The canals became much larger starting around 400 years later, when the first houses were built at a small hamlet now known as Pueblo Grande, or Large Town, using the woody ribs of saguaro cacti as the building materials. By the year 750, Pueblo Grande was a fully fledged village with ball courts and trading relationships. By 875, it was producing magnificent ceramics and was at the center of a network of 10 irrigation canals. By 1150, the village had become a walled town which became increasingly elaborate. In the early 1300s, the Hohokam started building big houses, including one at Pueblo Grande, elaborate multi-story structures made of adobe, at least one of which was used for astronomical purposes. The town, more than a mile wide, became legendary. 135 miles of canals fed thousands of acres of fields, and agriculture extended even to fish farming, based in the Salt River. Then, within just a few short generations, it was gone. By around 1450, after growing crops in the region for more than 1,000 years, the last Hohokam left Pueblo Grande. Its structures remained, but its inhabitants had all moved on. Archaeologists have not reached a consensus about exactly what happened. It certainly had nothing to do with European settlers. Christopher Columbus wouldn't arrive in the New World for decades yet. War with the Apache and Navajo is perhaps more chronologically feasible, but even they hadn't appeared on the scene by the time the Hohokam civilization collapsed. One possibility is that some kind of localized plague or waterborne disease spread rapidly throughout the population. The most likely explanation is just that Pueblo Grande got too big. The desert can support some folks, but not a lot, and a drought could have forced neighboring populations into Pueblo Grande, whose land and canals weren't fecund enough to be able to feed all who needed sustenance. Hohokam buried in the 15th century were malnourished, and floods in 1358 and the 1380s might have taken out enough of the irrigation system that the productive capacity of the town was already strained. Oral legends from the Pima, who are probably descended from the Hohokam, hint at political unrest, with the leaders being overthrown. Hohokam was not the name these people gave themselves. It came later and translates to people who are gone. Gone, but not forgotten. In 1867, just over 400 years after the Hohokam civilization ended, a man with the magnificent name of Jack Swilling moved.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?